Welcome to E-Pathashala. Students, today in this episode, I, Dr. C. Anita, will discuss about one more trace element, that is magnesium. Let us get started with an introduction to magnesium. Magnesium, like calcium, is an alkaline metal. It is an essential ion for health. Magnesium plays a vital role in the physiological function of the brain, heart, and skeletal muscles. It has anti-inflammatory properties and acts as calcium antagonist. Magnesium is an essential mineral and a cofactor for hundreds of enzymes. Magnesium is involved in many physiologic pathways including energy production, nucleic acid and protein synthesis, ion transport, cell signaling, and also as structural functions. More pure refined grains and processed foods estimates 80 to 90% of magnesium loss during food processing. As a result, a significant number of people are magnesium deficient, which may comprise up to 60% of critically ill patients. Now, after reading this episode, you will be able to understand the distribution of magnesium in the body, explain the absorption and utilization, learn about the dietary sources, describe the deficiency and toxicity of magnesium. Let us start with history of magnesium. The first use of magnesium in human medicine can be traced back to 1697 when Dr. Nehemiah Grieve identified magnesium sulfate as the major ingredient of Epsom salt. Epsom salt was extracted from a well in Epsom, England, and was used over the years to treat abdominal pain, constipation, sprains, muscle strains, hyaline membrane disease, and cerebral edema. Subsequently, Joseph Backlund in 1755 recognized magnesium as an element. Later, in 1808, Sir Humphrey Day first isolated magnesium from magnesia and mercury. It was Willie Glover Dennis in 1920 who explained the role of magnesium in the human body. Once, magnesium was described as body blood plasma. In 1926, Jean Leroy demonstrated that magnesium is essential for life. Let us get to know the distribution of magnesium in the body. Magnesium as a cation in the body ranks fourth in overall abundance, but intracellularly it is second only to potassium. A 70 kg human contains about 35 gram magnesium, of which approximately 55 to 60% is in the bone, another 20 to 25% in the soft tissues, and about 1% in the extracellular fluids. Magnesium in bone is present in both exchangeable and non-exchangeable pool. Magnesium, the second most abundant intracellular cation with a typical concentration of 10 to 30 millimole per liter. However, since most of the intracellular magnesium is bound to ribosomes, polynucleotides and ATP, the concentration of freely available magnesium falls within the low millimole range. In contrast to other abundant ions for which cells maintain considerable transmembrane gradients, the free magnesium concentrations in the cells and in the extracellular fluid are comparable. Magnesium content of bone decreases with age, and magnesium stored in this way is not completely bioavailable during magnesium deprivation. Nonetheless, bone provides a large exchangeable pool to buffer acute changes in serum magnesium concentration. Overall, 1/3 of skeletal magnesium is exchangeable, serving as a reservoir for maintaining physiological extracellular magnesium levels. Next, we shall review the absorption and transport of magnesium in the body. Absorption. A greater part of the magnesium is not absorbed. Approximately 40 to 60% of the total ingested magnesium is absorbed in normal healthy adults. Magnesium is absorbed in small intestine, mainly in the distal jejunum and ileum, and then transported through the blood to cells and tissues. Approximately 1/3 to 1/2 of the dietary magnesium is absorbed into the body. Two transport systems are thought to be responsible for magnesium absorption in the intestine. One is a saturable, carrier-mediated active transporter that operates mostly at low magnesium intakes, and secondly by simple diffusion, which is thought to function more with higher intake. The active magnesium transporter is also associated with the transient receptor potential cation channel called TRPM6, found on the brush border membrane of small intestinal cells, especially in duodenum and on the kidney. Magnesium absorption in cecum and colon is thought to be transcellular of nature and is mediated by TRPMC and TRPM7 on the luminal side of the erythrocyte. That how the magnesium has been digested and absorbed, and what is the amount that has been digested and what is the output. Magnesium homeostasis panels represent the daily amount of magnesium intake and excretion. Daily, the intestine absorbs 120 mg and excretes 20 mg of magnesium, resulting in a net absorption of 100 mg. In the kidney, daily 2400 mg magnesium is filtered by the glomerulus, of which 2300 mg is absorbed along the kidney tubule. This results in a net excretion of 100 mg, which matches the intestinal absorption. Bone and muscles provide the most important magnesium stores. Let us understand the factors affecting the absorption of magnesium. Magnesium absorption may be influenced by a variety of factors. A very high intake of fat, phosphate, calcium phytates and alkalines inhibit magnesium absorption, while parathyroid hormone, vitamin D, carbohydrates, lactose and fructose enhances its absorption. Magnesium absorption increases when magnesium status in the body is poor or marginal. Parathyroid hormone increases intestinal magnesium absorption, diminishes renal magnesium excretion and enhances bone magnesium reabsorption, thereby raising the plasma magnesium concentrations in the body. Transport of magnesium. In the plasma, about 55% of magnesium is in the free form and about 33% are bound to protein like albumin and globulins, while 13% is in the bound form complex with citrate, phosphate, sulfate or other ions. The utilization of magnesium in the body. Being a part of bone tissue, magnesium has been utilized in many important structural functions. Magnesium is an active component of several enzyme systems in which thiamine pyrophosphate is a cofactor. Oxidative phosphorylation is greatly reduced in the absence of magnesium. Magnesium is also an essential activator for the phosphate transferring enzymes myokinase, diphosphopiridine nucleotide kinase and creatine kinase. It also activates pyruvic acid carboxylase, pyruvic acid oxidase and the condensing enzyme for the reactions in the citric acid cycle. It is also a constituent of bone's teeth enzyme cofactor. Magnesium together with calcium, sodium and potassium must be in balance in the extracellular fluids so that transmission of nerve impulses and the consequent muscle contraction can be regulated. Magnesium is important in energy metabolism since ATP, the free energy for all cellular process, exists in all cells primarily as magnesium ATP. Magnesium is also associated with nucleic acids and protein. Neuronal magnesium concentrations are of major importance in the regulation of N-methyl D-aspartate receptor excitability. NMD receptors are essential for excitatory synaptic transmission, neuronal plasticity and excitotoxicity, and therefore play a vital role in developmental plasticity, learning and memory. Dietary magnesium intake has been reportedly associated with lung function. Magnesium plays a significant role in heart function by influencing myocardial metabolism, calcium hemostasis, vascular tone, peripheral vascular resistance and cardiac output. Magnesium exerts its effects in three ways. Magnesium regulates the activity of ion channels in the cardiac cells, thereby affecting the electrical properties of myocardium. It regulates myocardial contractility by influencing the intracellular calcium mobility. And finally, magnesium has an anti-inflammatory vasodilator effect. Low serum magnesium levels are frequently linked to high blood pressure. Intracellular magnesium may reduce the intracellular calcium concentration within vascular smooth muscle cells. This magnesium-induced vasodilation is thought to be a mechanism by which magnesium alters the blood pressure. Magnesium has been implicated in both endocrine and exocrine functioning of the pancreas. The role of magnesium in the liver is poorly studied. However, given that many of the enzymatic reactions that take place in the hepatocytes are dependent on magnesium, particularly in fat metabolism, magnesium is considered as an anti-inflammatory agent that reduces the expression and release of substance P and other pro-inflammatory molecules. Magnesium also influences acquired immunity by regulating the proliferation and development of lymphocytes. Bone hydroxyapatite structures mainly consist of phosphorus and calcium and are bound by magnesium ion at the surface of the hydroxyapatite crystals. Magnesium increases the solubility of the minerals and thereby acts on the crystal size and formation. Excretion of magnesium. Approximately 2400 milligrams of magnesium is filtered by the glomeruli daily. The nephron recovers 95 to 99% of this. The remaining 100 milligram leaves the body via urine. Let us identify the food sources of magnesium. Magnesium is found in a wide variety of foods and beverages. Beverages rich in magnesium are coffee, tea and cocoa. Foods particularly high in magnesium include nuts, legumes and whole grain cereals like oats and barley. Chlorophyll found in green leafy vegetables contain magnesium. Seafoods like halibut is rich in magnesium. Milk and yogurt are good sources. Other food which are good sources of magnesium are chocolate, corn, peas, carrot, brown rice, etc. Tap water may also contain fair amounts of magnesium. Hard water may be high in magnesium while soft water is high in sodium. Processing of foods may substantially reduce magnesium content in the foods. Deficiency of magnesium or disturbances in magnesium hemostasis is usually associated with the presence of other illness. Gastrointestinal disorders that impair absorption such as Crohn's disease can limit the body's ability to absorb magnesium. These disorders can deplete the body's stores of magnesium and in extreme cases may result in magnesium deficiency. Chronic or excessive vomiting and diarrhea may also result in magnesium depletion. Deficiency diseases or symptoms is secondary to malabsorption or diarrhea and alcoholism. Acute magnesium deficiency results in vasodilation with erythema and hyperemia appearing in a few days on the deficient diet. neuromuscular hyperirritability increases with the continuation of the deficiency and may be followed eventually by cardiac arrhythmia and generalized tremors. Magnesium deficiency causes depression, muscular weakness, and liability to convulsions. Toxicity of magnesium. Serum magnesium levels above 1.1 millimole per liter are generally considered hypermagnesia. Hypermagnesia may be clinically observed in patients suffering from nausea, vomiting, lethargy, headaches, or flushing. When magnesium levels rise to 3.0 millimoles per liter, it may even cause severe cardiac defects that are characterized by bradycardia, hypotension, etc. Signs and symptoms of nausea, flushing, double vision, slurred speech and weakness appears when plasma magnesium concentration is of 9 to 12 mg per deciliter. More than 2 millimole can have symptoms like lethargy, drowsiness, flushing, nausea and vomiting with diminished and deep tendon reflex. Somnolence, loss of deep tendon reflexes, hypotension, ECG changes with magnesium level more than 3 millimoles. More than 5 millimole can result in complete heart block, cardiac arrest, apnea, paralysis, coma and death. Hypermagnesemia can also occur as a result of prolonged intake of antacids and laxatives with magnesium salts as the active ingredients. Students, let us sum up this episode. Today we learned about various aspects of magnesium. The discussion was on distribution, utilization and excretion of magnesium. Further, the episode presented an interesting discussion on the deficiency and toxicity of magnesium. The salient features are summarized herewith. Magnesium, an abundant mineral in the body, is naturally present in many foods, added to other food products, available as a dietary supplement and present in some medicines like antacids and laxatives. Magnesium is a cofactor in more than 300 enzyme systems that regulate diverse biochemical reactions in the body, including protein synthesis, muscle and nerve function, blood glucose control, and blood pressure regulation. Magnesium is required for energy production, oxidative phosphorylation, and glycolysis. It contributes to the structural development of the bone and is required for the synthesis of DNA, RNA, and the antioxidant glutathione. Magnesium also plays a role in the active transport of calcium and potassium ions across cell membranes, a process that is important to nerve impulse conduction, muscle contraction, and normal heart rhythm. Magnesium, like calcium, is an alkaline metal. It is an essential ion for health. Magnesium plays a vital role in the physiological function of the brain, heart, and skeletal muscles. It has anti-inflammatory properties and acts as a calcium antagonist. More refined grains and processed food estimates 80 to 90% of magnesium lost during processing. As a result, a significant number of people are deficient with magnesium, which may comprise up to 60% of the critically ill patients. An adult body contains approximately 25 gram magnesium, with 50 to 60% present in the soft tissues. Hypomagnesemia is defined as a serum magnesium level less than 0.75 millimole per liter, and magnesium homeostasis is largely controlled by kidney, which typically excretes about 120 milligram magnesium into the urine each day. Urinary excretion is reduced when magnesium status is low. Thank you, students. Thank you. Hope you have understood today's episode. Thank you once again.